Hey plant fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is my jungle, and if you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you for still being here. So today I wanted to talk to you about something that we did like a long time ago, and I said that I was going to do more of them, and it's been a while, and I apologize. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 uncommon Hoya that are good for beginners. So like I said, I've done this video before, so this is kind of like 5 more Hoya, uncommon Hoya that are really great if you're just starting to get into Hoya, but you don't want the carnosa, the pubic calyx, and the way eyes and all the really common stuff that you see. You're willing to spend a little bit more maybe, but you want to know which ones are good to spend your money on, that are going to be easier to care for and kind of foolproof. So I'm going to show you 5 more of my favorite less common Hoya that you can snag and are going to be really easy growers and easy bloomers for you guys. So the first one on my list was one that I realized, a lot of these I realized afterwards from making the first one, that they would also go great on this list. And it is the Hoya Sarawak. So this is a latifolia species. Tons and tons of latifolia species out there, but this is one of my favorites just because I love the really round heart-shaped leaves on this one. They do get pretty pillowy, and that is a great way to tell the Sarawak from other latifolia species. So like I said, there are hundreds and hundreds of different latifolia species, but this one is one of my favorites. It's a really easy grower. The leaves can get quite large on it, and they can get pretty splashy. 10 out of 10 recommend snagging one of these. I have multiples. They do all kind of look a little bit different, but for the most part, this is what they're gonna look like. So I do have a video up on my channel as well that I can link for you where I'm talking about Hoya Sarawak and latifolia and things along those lines, and kind of the differences between some of them and how to tell them apart. A lot of people want to know if what they have is a Sarawak or not, but this is just a Hoya latifolia that comes from the Sarawak region. So it is named for where it's come from. So definitely don't be mistaken and don't get confused. This is a Hoya latifolia species Sarawak. So really, really beautiful. I'm hoping that I can get her to continue to grow up and around this trellis, and I love it. So that is why I put it as number 1 on the list today in no particular order. Just had to stick her on there. And then number 2 on my list today is another veiny babe that can get pretty big and gorgeous. Mine's pretty small just because I've propagated her quite a bit, but it is the Hoya vitellinioides. So as you can see, this has a really beautiful big leaf. It can get even bigger than this. It's pretty elongated and veiny, and she's been a really easy-going, easy-growing Hoya for me. If you're looking for a nice, veiny, big leaf Hoya that isn't a Calistophylla, if you have the Calistophylla already, but you want something a little bit different, I definitely recommend the vitellinioides. Like I said, they can get pretty large, and they've been really easy growers for me. I have a few just kind of scattered around in here, and I absolutely love it. So I definitely recommend the Hoya vitellinioides. These are both pretty moderately priced. Most of these are going to be very moderately priced, as well as decently easy to find. Probably online though, you're not really going to find these. I mean, you could find one. I've seen these pop up in nurseries if you've got a good shop near you that carries Hoya. You never know. A lot of these are definitely more common than they used to be, but I still wouldn't consider them common because you're not going to find them in a big box store. So Hoya vitellinioides is number 2 on my list today of uncommon Hoya that are really easygoing, easy growing for beginners. And then number 3, you guys, number 3 on my list is not one that I actually would have expected to put on here a while ago, mostly because I always struggled with it. I'm starting to think, however, that the reason why I struggle with this plant is just because I wasn't keeping it well watered, and I was always trying to grow it from a small cutting, which is easy. It's a very easy grower, but I think that I just was underwatering it, and it was making it a little bit harder because it didn't have roots yet. So now that I've got the Hoya Polyneura, which is number 3 on my list, as a more established plant, I've had a lot more success with it, and it's been so much fun to grow and so easy. So this is the silver version of it. I don't have the regular green version, and I've had a really easy time with this plant recently. So I am very happy to report that I think these are worth the money if you want to get a variegated one. This is the Polyneura Albo. This is going to be the more pricey of them. So if you wanted to start out with the green one, that's totally understandable. But if you want to jump straight into the silver or the Albo, I'd say that they're both good investment plants because they're easygoing, pretty decently fast growing. Obviously this one's going to be a little bit slower because it's more variegated. This one grows really easy for me. The green one grows like a weed from what people have told me. I just poked myself in the face with it. That's fine. Everything is fine. But I would say that if you wanted to splurge and get yourself one of the variegated Polyneura, that it would be worth your money. As a beginner, I do not think that you would kill these plants as long as you get one that is well established. Don't keep it anywhere where it's too hot. They don't like heat. They don't need a ton of light, and just keep them well watered. So that is the key to the slightly thinner leaf Hoya. But to be completely honest with you guys, of the thin leaf Hoya, I think that this one has been one of the easiest for me, and that is why I feel confident recommending it for beginners if you wanted to get something just a little bit more exciting. So Hoya Polyneura is number 3 on my list for that reason. Whether you want to get the green one or a variegated one, you do you, boo-boo. Just make sure you get one that's already well established and not a cutting, and you're gonna have a lot better luck with this plant. So number 4 on my list today of uncommon Hoya that are easy for beginners is the Hoya Crassipedialata Splash. So I have the green version of this as well, and they're both really easygoing, easy growing. But if you wanted something that's really gonna be eye-catching and spectacular, the splash on this one is just absolutely stunning. Ignore those lighter green splotches. That's on me for not giving it the right lighting, but the variegation on this plant is just absolutely stunning. This thing grows like crazy for me. It is always putting out new leaves. I don't know if you can see all that new growth kind of hiding in the top here, but these have come way down in price. Their availability has gone way up. So I would say that it's pretty easy to find one of these, and it's gonna grow like a weed for you. So I absolutely love the Hoya Crassipedialata Splash. I love the green one as well. If you wanted to just go the slightly cheaper route with the green one, it is equally as beautiful. But of course, you guys know I'm a sucker for that splash. But honestly, who doesn't love a splashy Hoya that is just really easy to grow? I remember the first time I saw this plant, I was like, wow, that's beautiful, because it does have these really subtle, adorable veins as well with that splash on there. You just really can't go wrong with this one. And like I said, it's way more available and affordable now than it used to be. So I would say that if you're new to Hoya, that you should definitely snag one of these for your collection. Okay, last but certainly not least, one of my all-time favorites, one that I think is super underrated, and I hit myself in the face with it again, is the Hoya Funkii. Just a plain old Fungi, not crossed with anything, even though I do love the hybrids as well, because look at it. It's veiny, it's splashy. The leaves can actually get pretty big on it too. They're not small at all. I mean, granted, they're not as big as some other plants can get, but I absolutely love this one. It makes a great trailing Hoya, which is something that I love about it as well. It's a very prolific grower and bloomer as well. I'd say this is the easiest bloomer on this whole entire list. I haven't had any of the other ones bloom for me, but this one blooms for me at least once, if not a few times a year. And as it matures, it continues to put out more and more peduncles that are just gonna bloom more often. So Hoya fungi, super duper easy to find, super cheap. This whole entire hanging basket was like 30 bucks. I got this one from the plant farm, and I absolutely love it. If you are new to Hoya and you don't want a carnosa, but you want something that's going to be really cheap and really easy and really fun to grow, the Hoya fungi is definitely one that you're going to want to snag. I just absolutely love her, and like I said, she's really easy to grow. Her blooms are pink, they're super cute, and I love it. She's one of my personal favorites, one that I always say is super underrated and that I think everybody should have in their collection. So that is 5 more Uncommon Hoya for beginners that I would personally recommend. I'm not an expert, I'm not a botanist. I'm just a girl with a lot of plants who's made a lot of mistakes, and I'm here to tell you what I think. So I think you should get this Hoya if you don't have one yet, especially if you're new to growing Hoya. This one is definitely not going to disappoint you, and it's not going to be difficult for you in the slightest bit. So if you enjoyed this video, then you should definitely go and check out the last video that I did if you want to know 5 more uncommon Hoya for beginners. I can't talk today. It's fine. Everything is fine. So there is definitely a lot more, obviously, than the ones on this list. So if you have another one that you would like to add, definitely comment it down below and maybe I'll put it in the next video. So that is it for today, you guys. Let me know if you have any of these in your collection, if you added any of these to your wish list. If you're new to Hoya and you don't have any yet and you found this video helpful, definitely let me know. Also, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. There's also a join button if you want to be part of the official plant fam, get access to some extra content and things like that. Definitely going to be upgrading the perks soon, so stay tuned for that if you are already a member. Thank you to my members as well. I feel like I never actually thank you guys in my videos, but I do really appreciate every single one of you, and I can't do this without you guys. You guys keep this channel going for real. So I hope that you're having a beautiful day wherever you are out there in the world. Don't forget to spread kindness. Don't forget to drink your water, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.